Hello friends, this is Kritika from Learners Colony. This channel is completely about providing effective study tips, tuning your English language skills, guiding you through your interview, and much more. If you are interested and would like to get notified about these videos in future, please do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon without fail. So yes, before we get into today's video, I have a small announcement that has to be made. So I have made small changes in my channel and I'm gonna upload 3 videos in a week, and those 3 videos will be based on the theme. First week of every month will be your English language skills, second week of every month would be your interview skills, third week will be your aptitude week, and fourth week will be your personality boost week. So videos related to respective themes will be uploaded on my channel in the coming days. So if you have any suggestions to be notified to me, you can always express it in the comment section. I will look into that and make the respective changes possible. And yes, let's get into today's video. So today's topic is ratios and proportions, so part 1. So since this is a third week of the month, so it is the aptitude week and I have chosen the topic ratios and proportions. So this is a part 1, so I don't want to dump all the problems into one particular video and confuse my subscribers. So I have broken the topic into 3 small chunks so that you'll be able to understand it conceptually and practically. So this is ratios and proportions part 1. So let's get into the video. Let's first understand ratios and proportion theoretically, which will help us to solve the problems practically. Cool. So there are few things we have to remember, key points that has to be remembered before we solve the problem. So those are: first, what is a ratio? So ratio is a relationship between two groups or amount that expresses how much bigger one is than the other. In simple terms, I would like to explain ratio is a comparison of two groups of the same kind. Simple. You're comparing two groups of the same kind and it is called ratios. Okay. The second point is terms of ratio. In the ratio A is to B, the quantities A and B are called terms. Okay. Here A is called the antecedent, that is a first term, and B is called the consequent, that is a second term. Let's understand with example. In the ratio 2 is to 5, 2 is called the antecedent and 5 is called the consequent. 2 is your first term, 5 is your second term. Okay. Third point, in ratio, quantities being compared must be of the same kind, otherwise the comparison becomes meaningless. So in ratio, always you have to compare a group of the same kind and you cannot compare it with a different kind. Example, dozen of apple must be compared with dozen itself and not kgs of apple. Okay. Proportion. Comparison of two ratios are called proportion. A proportion, on the other hand, is an equation that says that two ratios are equivalent. Okay. In simple terms, ratio is a comparison between two groups of the same kind, right? Similarly, proportion is a comparison of two ratios. If two ratios are equal, then that is said to be proportional. Okay. So the next point to be remembered is proportions are denoted by the symbol equals or this particular symbol. Okay. Examples: are the ratios 4 is to 5 and 8 is to 8 is to 10 said to be in proportion? So 4 is to 5 can always be written as 4 divided by 5. When you divide, you get 0.8. Similarly, 8 is to 10 can be written as 8 divided by 10 and it is again 0.8. Since both the ratios are equal, they are said to be in proportion. Let's look into another example. 8 is to 10 and 7 is to 10. Similarly, 8 divided by 10, if you take 0.8, 7 divided by 10 is 0.7. So since both the ratios are not equal, they are not in proportion. Okay. Are the ratios 6, 12 and 24 are in proportion? So in the first two example we saw, we had where we had only two components or two ratios. Okay, but here we have three components. In such case, all that we have to do is multiply your first term and the last term, that is your third term, and the resultant answer should be the square of the middle term. Example, 6 into 24 is 144, and 144 is 12 square. That means again 6, 12 and 24 are in proportion. Are in proportion. Cool. These are very small examples that will help us in understanding the meaning of proportion. Let's get into solving problems. The first problem is two numbers are in ratio 3:4. If the sum of numbers is 63, find the numbers. So I've given a stepwise solution. Let the number be x. Okay. So since you have told sum of the numbers is 63, let's take it as 3x plus 4x equals 63. 7x equals 63. So on further simplification, we can find out that x equals 9. So since we have found out x, it will be easy for us to find out the numbers just by replacing your x with the answer, that is 9. 3 into 9, that is 27, and 4 into 9, that is 36. So the two numbers are 27 and 36. Second problem, if x is to y is equal to 1 is to 2, find the value of 2x plus 3y is to x plus 4y. Simple. They have already given x is to y is 1 is to 2. That means x equals 1 and y equals 2. All that you have to do is replace your x and y with the provided numbers. Okay. So that means in place of x you're going to put 1, and in place of y you're going to put 2, and simplify. On further simplification we find out the ratio is 8:9. That means the value of this particular ratio is 8:9. So if you have understood the problem till now and you have understood the concept of ratio and proportion till now, I would recommend you to please give a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon without fail. Okay, let's go ahead. A bag contains rupees 5, 10 in the form of 50 paise, 25 paise and 20 paise coins in the ratio of 2:3:4. Find the number of coins. So all that you have to do is let the number be x. Okay. Now since it is in paise, you have to convert to rupees. So you have to divide it by 100 because 100 paise makes 1 rupee, right? So 2x into 50 by 100 plus 3x into 25 by 100 plus 4x into 20 by 100 gives you 510. On simplification, you get x by 1 plus 3x by 4 plus 4x by 5 equals 510. How I simplify? Let me tell you here. I've cancelled zeros. 5 ones are 5 twos are, and 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So it'll remain x by 1. Similarly, you have to simplify these two terms and you get this particular equation. So since the denominators are different, we have to find the LCM, and in this case LCM is 20 and the numerator becomes 20 plus 15 plus 16x equals 510. On further simplification, we can find out x equals 200. Now we have found out x, but the question is asking us find the number of coins of each type. That means you have to multiply 200 with 2, 3 and 4 like this. For 2x it should be 2 into 200, 3x it is 3 into 200, 4x it is 4 into 200, and your final answer would be 400, 600 and 800. Okay. Let's see the fourth problem. In a certain room there are 28 men and 28 women and 21 men. What is the ratio of men to women? Very simple. Without even seeing the answer, let's say it is 28 is to 21, and you have to further simplify. What is the ratio of women to the total number of people? So women here is 28, total number of people is 28 plus 21. Let's see the answer. Men is to women, 21 is to 28, that is 3 is to 4. Women to total number of people, it is 28 is to 49. How 49? 28 plus 21. And on further simplification, it is 4 is to 7. Fifth problem, in a bag there are certain number of toy blocks with alphabets A, B, C and D. The ratio of the blocks A is to B is to C is to D is in the ratio of 4 is to 7 is to 3 is to 1. If the number of A blocks is 50 more than number of C blocks, what is the number of B blocks? Okay, the question seemed to be confusing, but the answer is very simple. So let the number of blocks be 4x, 7x, 3x and x respectively. Okay, they are telling the number of A blocks is 50 more than C. A is 4x, right? 4x is equal to 3x, that is C, plus 50. So here we can find out x equals 50. So since we found out x, it is very easy for us to find out the B blocks, that is 50 into 7. Simple, right? So the number of B blocks is 350. Okay, next, last problem for today's video. What must be added to each term of the ratio 2 is to 3 so that it may become equal to 4 is to 5? So what you have to add to this particular ratio so that it becomes 4 is to 5? Let's see the solution. Let the number be x again. So here 2 plus x divided by 3 plus x equals 4 is to 5. 4 is to 5 can be written as 4 by 5 also, right? On cross multiplication, 10 plus 5x equals 12 plus 4x. Taking all the number on one side and all the x on the other side, we can find out x equals 2. That means 2 must be added to 2 is to 3 so that it becomes 4 is to 5. You can just cross verify. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 2 is 5. That means you have found out the right answer. Okay. So therefore 2 must be added to make the ratio as 4 is to 5. Okay. So we have come to the end of part 1. Hope you have understood the basic concept and the basic problems solved in this video. So in the next part I will teach you more advanced and more complicated problems, and I would like to tell you that after all the 3 parts are uploaded on my channel, I will also provide you with the link to particular presentation so that it will be useful for your future reference. For that, there is one condition, that I should get at least of 100 likes in each of the video. So if I have to get 100 likes, all that you have to do is like the video, share it to as many people as possible and help them get to know about this channel. Tell them to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon, and hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and hope you've understood the concept, and that is the main thing I want from your end. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do like the video, share it to as many people and subscribe to the channel, and the target of this particular video is 100 likes, so that share it to people and help them gain knowledge. Thank you so much.